Today's Chad Prather Show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your online activity shouldn't be public. Protect yourself at expressvpn.com/watchchad. Hey, it's party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show here, quarantined in Studio 22, which is the mothership. We'd rather be here than anywhere else. The Puppet Master Mark at the helm driving us into the nether regions that are all things COVID-19 quarantine, as I've now gained my 15. Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians, looking lovely as always, as Herbert the Silent Deer looks on. Party Foul Steve at the pub hanging out. He's got the COVID! That's why we are social distancing, folks. But you know what? Not everybody has the privilege of being able to social distance. We got to live at home together. So, folks, here's what I want to know. In our modern, woke, well-adjusted, white, male-hating, wonderful world of inclusivity and withering tolerance, why in God's name is it that our ascendant societal betters, you know who you are, those troubadours of their truth, have not seen fit to give us a blueprint for relationships during quarantine? We are living with much trepidation these days as we see the digital confines of our bank accounts dwindle, trembling like a man in a coal mine with no canary, praying to God that I will not have to sell small arms and munitions to third world countries in order to survive this pandemic Armageddon. But now I got to deal with living full-time at home with my wife as well. Folks, the diaphanous vibe of this experience is beautiful only in theory. It's accrual of experiences, emotions, and critically overpriced mental workout of Netflix and chill has added an element of dangerous relational expansion to the universe of quarantine love that it has created. Therefore, I, the man, am like unto Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the side of a mountain which gets a little taller every single day. That's right, ladies. Whether you'll admit it or not, it's understood by all that our job is not only to break our backs, to woo you and take care of you in these days, but to drum up the emotions of supposed enjoyment that we are cloistered in our boxed abodes together 24/7. Oh, we love you so much. And guys out there, listen up. Your woman's probably going to tell you that you don't need to put forth that much effort, that none of what I'm saying is true. It's all good. Honey, I'm happy with just a pizza and a movie on the couch alone with you and the kiddos every single live long day. Even though 8 days into hiding, we've exhausted the full library of every movie available to man, and we're now bored and begging for release. Yes, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and it is apparent that we're now speaking daily different foreign languages to one another. I don't know who you are. Can we survive these crazy days living so close to the ones we claim to love the most? We're going to figure it out on this episode of the Chad Prather Show. Don't you move. Go. If you leave, gotta go leave. Hey, y'all, with all the talk about the coronavirus, people stop talking about the flu, which has killed 16,000 people and hospitalized over 250,000 in the U.S., and the season isn't even over yet. One of the best ways to avoid getting sick is a healthy immune system. Come on now. Which is why I fortify this golden body every day with Field of Greens by Brickhouse Nutrition. One scoop has a full serving of real USDA-certified organic fruits and vegetables, which boosts energy, supports a healthy immune system. Look how hyper I am and full of vitality, vigor, and life. Doctors agree. A diet of fruits and vegetables can reduce your risk of heart disease. Plus, Field of Greens is prebiotic. It's probiotic and a great source of vitamins, fiber, and other nutrients. So just put one scoop in a glass of water, stir, and you are done. Now, right now, I want you to save 15% off your first order with the offer code CHAD at BrickHouseChad.com. That's BrickHouseChad.com. Subscribe today. Save an extra 10% every month this virus and flu season. Turn your immune system into a brick house with Field of Greens. Go to BrickHouseChad.com. That's BrickHouseChad.com. Hey, if you suspect that you have COVID-19, the Wu flu, the chop fluey, the Wu virus, the China virus, as Trump calls it, or the flu platter, I want to encourage all of you not to dig around underneath your fish tank and pull out chloroquine phosphate and take it, as one Arizona man has passed away, unfortunately, and his wife is in critical condition for going and eating the stuff. Don't eat your tank cleaner, okay? This is just, people are doing dumb things, right? And then they want to blame the president. Oh, somebody took the medicine that Trump recommended, the chloroquine. Oh, no, they dug it out from underneath their aquarium and ate it, Steve.
That's pretty moronic.
It really is. I mean, you just think that, I've taken chloroquine for malaria, right? In Africa, you contract
took a derivative
stuff
of it, but not that.
I mean, it's a great drug if you need it, but you don't go digging around in your cleaning supplies and just say, okay, well, let me try this borax and, see if this works. Be careful, people. I mean, don't let idiocy take over, man. And I think that maybe he didn't. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about the dead, but I think there's a lot of things going on in these days of quarantine where people are doing some dumb things.
Maybe he didn't have his reading glasses on or something. He thought it, because sometimes I think I read something without my glasses on.
I don't know, man. I know it's aquarium cleaner, and that's what they dug it out. They dug it out and ate it, and they just saw the name, and they were like, "Hey, let's take this. Cheers." Just craziness, man. Sad tale of this thing. How are you? First of all, you and I are somewhat fortunate. We can get out of the house and we can come to the studio. We are essential.
Yeah.
We're media. But we get to come in here and hang out with the Puppet Master and Candice and Herbert. We have quarantined Hot News Natalie. She can't come in.
No, she sneezes and coughs and hacks.
She's got the allergy stuff going on, and they took a trip to Colorado, so she's about 10 days of that, and we won't let her around us.
Yep.
So, no, we won't let her in the house. Miss her. I miss her. So it's just been our ugly mugs on the Chad Prather Show.
Yeah, and we're 20 feet apart. Is that 20 feet?
Nope. But it's close, 15.
15.
We're and you're sitting over there. We got all the whiskey on the shelf if we want to kill this thing. But so what I was going to ask is that you and Tony, y'all are getting along okay, right?
We're actually better than ever, I think.
Okay.
So.
See, I think that people can use this to build relationships. Like, so many people don't know their kids.
Yeah.
Now you have an opportunity. Get to know your kids. Get to know your wife again.
I mean, it's like we spend more time sitting in a room together playing on our phones than we used to.
There you go.
So,
I don't see her any more than I used to. I still am staring at my phone.
Yeah.
Right? Can you imagine, Puppet Master, if we didn't have cell phones and we were going through this? Imagine those barbarians in the Black Plague or the Spanish flu.
Oh yeah, imagine before there was internet.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you do when you were like? I guess you could read books, but most people didn't even have books back then,
that's
unless you were rich. You know.
I'm enjoying going live on the social media and just doing little, the stuff on YouTube and just having fun with it.
It is. I mean, it really, we have some outlets that are there. I've kind of been, I don't know, it's forced me to be a little more productive in things. Like I've been working on the book, been working on the sitcom, I'm reading the part for the movie. Just little things that I really don't enjoy doing all the time, but it's kind of forcing my hand to do some things, some creative stuff. We've been coming in here, getting in the truck, doing some dog videos or rant videos with Willie. And, so, I mean, here we are, dude. We're having a good time. Jade seems to be doing okay. She still doesn't talk to me. It's great. It's fantastic. It's fantastic, man.
And that having to sleep 6 feet apart, it's kind of...
Or in separate rooms.
Yeah.
Ricky and Lucy knew what was up, dude.
Yeah.
When they pushed those beds apart, I don't know where little Ricky came from, but that whole sleeping in your own bed deal, there's something to be said for that. Yeah. The older you get, it's fantastic.
Wasn't it like the Brady Bunch when it came on, their bed was together?
That was the first.
That was like one of the first.
They showed them in the bed.
Yeah.
Showed them in the bed. Carol and Mike, man.
Crazy.
What we did, Candace is back in the room. I've been waiting. We reached out. Of course, one of the things that a lot of people are doing is they're on Netflix. They're on their subscription OTT stuff. I encourage everybody to subscribe to the Blaze. You can get BlazeTV. You can get us on Pluto, which is free television. We're channel 250. Or you can get us, of course, you can watch our show on YouTube. But I encourage people, sign up for the Blaze. I just renewed my subscription. No, I do not have a free subscription to the Blaze. They would give me one, but I don't take it. I pay.
Yeah,
I buy the subscription.
My code doesn't work anymore, so I'm going to have to
Steve's cheap like that. But I signed up, blazetv.com/CPS, Chad Prather Show, CPS, and you get $10 off for the year. But one of the things that I've fallen in love with, if you haven't figured it out yet, no, it's not Baby Yoda. No, it's not the Outlander. It's the Tiger King. I am in love with the characters from the Tiger King. I just love these people.
Well, I hear he takes straight men and turns them gay. He makes them gay.
So. But I don't have an affinity for meth. So, like, I don't need a fix. Like,
is your affection or your infinite? Is it for tigers? I mean,
no, I think it's for rednecks.
Rednecks. You just love rednecks. I
just love rednecks. I love to watch it on display. You know, I've told you, I had to get away from the state of Georgia, get away from the family business of meth. Got a cousin that was arrested at a cockfight for selling chicken salad sandwiches without a food license. We're country folks, man. You know, if your sister got her first job at 16 and your uncle had to drive her to work at the strip club, you know, that's if you've ever seen a stripper with plantar fasciitis or on a walker, or an icy hot patch on her back, or bruises on her where they've been hitting her with quarters all night, you might be a redneck. I mean, you could be. I don't want to steal Jeff Foxworthy's phrase.
Yeah, makes me wonder if the strip clubs are still open during this.
Oh, they are, actually. The strip clubs, a lot of them are being very entrepreneurial and industrious. What they've started doing now is delivering food. So it's called Boober Eats. And they'll like bring it even out to the curb, so you can still get your $3.49 ribeye with a baked potato. They'll just in a little salad. The strip clubs honestly have some really good. So that's one thing for our trucker friends out there. And God bless our truckers out on the roads, man. You are the lifeblood of this country right now. You're keeping the heart of America beating. Maybe hit the strip clubs up. Get that $3.49.
I was wondering if they're hanging plastic in the strip clubs, you know?
Yeah.
Like clear plastic between you and
I saw another one, Steve. I saw another one where they had a truck going down the street that had glass walls on the back of the flatbed, and there was a stripper pole in there. And like it was like mobile strippers.
That's kind of like they're doing at some of the churches. They're pulling in the parking lot, roll down their windows, and then blasting the sermon over the loudspeakers.
Is that what they're doing?
It's kind of same concept.
Same concept, but just they keep their clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Concept's the same.
What'd you say, Candace? No, you don't want to repeat that? Concept's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get the message out there one way or another. And I know we'll have our people who are getting mad at us because you're like, how dare you mention the word church in connection with a stripper? Hey, strippers get saved all the time.
I was going to say, strippers go to church.
Strippers get saved. The wages of sin is death, but the free gift of God is eternal life through Christ Jesus our Lord. And we say that to every stripper out there with all sincerity. The free gift is for you too. Hashtag me too. You too. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Boober Eats is what they're doing, though, Steve. I mean, you got to be industrious in these times. Like we've created the Chad Prather supporters page because I want support. I've got my Cameo now. We'll give you a shout out.
I put my Venmo on my social media.
You put Venmo on there. Hey, we got to keep this economy going.
Yeah.
You can get the podcast merch, the Party Time Mom T-shirts, the F the Left, the y'all elitists are dumb. You can get all those T-shirts. You can get them all at shop.blazemedia.com. I mean, it's industrious. But what I was going to say is I think I'm drawn to redneck on display. Like when it's just unapologetic about who they are. I ain't wearing a suit. I ain't cut my hair. I'm broke as shit. I love Joe Exotic. Joe Maldonado Passage is his name. He's been married now 3 times. He gets young men, too.
Yeah, 19-year-old men that are...
I have binged on his music videos. And we reached out to Carol Baskin in Florida. Carol Baskin, if she crosses my fence. Of course, we know that there was a feud between Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin. They both had big cat refuges. And so here was Carol Baskin's response to the Chad Prather Show. She says, when the directors, I'm going to read it to you in its entirety, and you're going to appreciate it. She says, when the directors of the Netflix documentary Tiger King came to us 5 years ago, they said they wanted to make the big cat version of Blackfish. I don't know what that is. Do you? Okay.
It was the documentary that kind of brought into question like SeaWorld's captivity of dolphins and whales and stuff like that.
Okay. The acclaimed documentary that exposed the horrible abuse taking place at SeaWorld. I could have just kept reading. Yeah. And other similar parks around the world. A lifelong animal lover, I was immediately drawn to the possibility of exposing the misery caused by the rampant breeding of big cat cubs for exploitation and the awful lives where majestic creatures are forced to endure in roadside zoos' backyards if they survive their time used for petting. There are no words for how disappointing it is to see that the series not only does not do that, but has instead chosen to be as salacious and sensational as possible to draw in viewers. As part of that, they devoted an entire segment to 23-year-old lies and innuendos suggesting I was involved in my husband Don's 1997 disappearance. I will not use this platform to bring further attention to Netflix or their unethical practices, especially when so many of their so-called inside sources have been clearly shown to be heavily biased. Instead, I invite the public to focus on the real issue at hand and the important work my team have been able to accomplish. For the last 23 years, we've devoted our hearts and souls to stopping the abuse of big cats used in cub petting schemes, roadside zoos. Through our Tampa Bay sanctuary, we've been able to rescue and rehabilitate over 200 big cats, educate hundreds of venues to not allow cub petting, traveling exhibits on their premises, passed the Captive Wildlife Safety Act, and now have enormous support in Congress for the Big Cat Public Safety Act, which would end abusive cub petting and outlaw having big cats as pets, and educate the public about the abuses associated with circuses and inbreeding of white tigers. I hope viewers will join our fight and see support of the individuals capable of this abuse by not engaging in cub petting or tiger selfies. And even more importantly, help us pass the Big Cat Public Safety Act, which would end so much of the abuse. Hey, and we'll be fair. For more information, please visit cubtruth.com and bigcatact.com. So there it is. There's the official statement from Carol Baskin. She will not be appearing on the Chad Prather Show.
I've never wanted a tiger selfie more than I do right now.
You want one now, huh?
Yeah.
But honest assessment, Candace, pull that microphone over. Honest assessment, I mean, how does that letter strike you?
I don't know. I feel like Carol might be with Joe in jail pretty soon. I feel like the Netflix documentary is going to raise a lot of questions with her husband, and you know, we're going to find that out. That's going to be a whole nother documentary in its own.
Yeah, where is Don Lewis? I mean, he's somewhere. He's somewhere.
And where does all this money go from this Netflix deal? Just the people who produced
and the people that make it.
Okay.
That's why people make movies.
But I know that her donations are they've got to be out of this world insane, because I mean, animal and cat lovers are going to, back her and support her.
Oh, she's gotten tons of support over the years. I mean, she honestly, in her defense and to her credit, she was one of the first ones that kind of locked down getting viral on social media in that world, right? She got on Facebook and she was doing her videos and all that stuff, and you just have to, I would say a lot of things, but you got to watch that series. People are so mad at me for promoting this.
I think they loved hating each other.
Yeah, and I mean, it was kind of a love-hate thing because
it gave them both a lot of exposure.
Yeah, Batman needs his Joker, right? But we don't know which one was Batman, because it did. Netflix did an effective job of painting both of them as something that is less than desirable in the breed of humans. Or the species. Yeah, Candace?
I want to know what happened to the long-haired gentleman in the series with
he
the
got
elephant.
Busted.
With the elephant. But where is he?
Antley. Badagravam Antle. He got busted. They raided his compound. But when those girls started moving in, his little harem, they all had their little trailers. And then they were living in big old 5-bedroom houses. It was like gypsies, man. It's like a gypsy camp. Don't come at me, gypsy. And look, I know it. I got the word gypsy tattooed on my body in 2 different places. My nickname is Gypsy. Gyp. Everybody that knows me knows that, Candace. Don't look at me with that.
You're not even Egyptian.
I know. Well, there you go. Logic by Steve. Hang tight. We got more. I just got some breaking news. You'll be interested to know that former candidate Hillary Clinton has tested negative for president of the United States. One of the things that's going on, we're getting some headlines here. Police in India. I'm so glad I don't live in India, man. It's the subcontinent of Asia there, 1.3 billion people. They woke up the other day to find themselves in the world's largest coronavirus lockdown. That was scary stuff, man. And if you tried to leave your house, you got beat.
Can we pull a video on this?
You got beat, man. I mean, I'm laughing, but I ain't laughing. I'm laughing by comparison, right? Because we act like we got it so bad. They say, hey, stay home. And these people, they were using the rattan canes to beat people in the streets. So they were making sure they stayed in the house.
I still want to see it.
I bet you do. You probably never. I'm not getting into that.
I'd probably be beat with a cane, too, to keep me in.
Watched a good movie last night, talking about abuses. Just Mercy. That's a good movie. Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx. Check that out. I mean, it's one of those movies that works to stir up race tensions, because that's what you got to do if you're Hollywood.
Yeah.
But
okay.
It's a good movie.
I haven't seen it.
So India has confirmed just 500 virus cases and 9 deaths. 9 deaths out of 1.3 billion people. I want you to put that in perspective, folks.
India is projected to be larger than China by 2024 as far as population
right.
wise.
So they probably will
that's
be.
a minute. I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah. So they locked them down, man. They're using the canes to beat them into compliance. So, if you're sitting there thinking about things to be thankful for while you're sitting alone at home 6 feet from your wife, I want you to think about stuff like that. Prince Charles, of course, tested positive for the coronavirus. I blame Meghan Markle. He tested positive for the coronavirus. Apparently, he's self-isolating with mild symptoms. Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, she tested negative. We'll see how that goes. So they're hanging out at the house. And I don't know, man. I like. How important do you have to be in this world to get a test?
I don't know.
Harvey Weinstein's in jail, and he got one.
I bet if you really wanted
Is he
one,
in jail? He's in jail, isn't he?
If not, he's on the way. But if you wanted a test, you could get one. I think if you really wanted one.
You think I'm important enough?
I think you are. I think if you went in and presented with the symptoms, which the symptoms
is a brutal
are,
test. Have you seen the diagrams of it?
I saw them doing the drive up. They did it on video. They shove a Q-tip up your nose.
Oh, but they go way back. They got to get behind your eyeball.
It ain't too bad.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
it is, dude.
It's not as near as bad as a chlamydia test.
I don't want that either.
Like they'll take that scrub brush and run it down there.
Oh, that's like the worst. The worst was when they gave me. I've had some pretty bad things done to me. Like when I had the cystoscopy before I had surgery, and they had to run that camera down my schmang.
Yeah.
And then there was a time, Mark, where they had to do basically an MRI where they had to pump fluids into me, and you have to hold those fluids in. I won't say what orifice they used to pump the fluids in, but yeah, that's brutal, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
the
sure
contrast, they got to shove it up your butt.
Coronavirus Q-tip ain't too bad.
It's still bad.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me want to puke just thinking about it. I mean, it gives me my gag reflex. And, I mean, they got to get, like, behind your eyeball. They got to touch the brain stem. They got to get down there and swab your medulla oblongata.
I hope this doesn't discourage somebody with symptoms from going and getting the test.
No, it's a pleasure. Go get it. Go get the test if you feel like you need to get the test. I think everybody should be tested, though. That's just me.
I don't think everybody should be tested.
Oh, come on. Why not?
Because, okay, let's say if you went into healthcare facilities and you tested every worker there, I think we'd lose half our workforce in that hospital. So they don't need to be tested. So because they may have it, they just don't have any symptoms, and they're going to, in 14 days it'll be gone. It's over.
Okay, well, let's test everybody except our healthcare workers.
There you go. That's probably better.
But the problem is, if the healthcare workers have it,
They could spread it.
they could spread it. So that's why I disagree with you on that.
Yeah.
If we have to go down to because here's the thing, if let's say you have to eliminate some of the healthcare workers and put them on a 14-day quarantine, it's still going to stop the spread, and it will also, you will have less people coming into the medical care facilities because they will have tested negative already.
Well,
Or you can find out if you've already got it.
yeah, maybe so, but ask New York right now how short-staffed they are.
Well, I know that Andrew Cuomo has asked for, 30,000 ventilators, and they have like 4,000 on hand. My Pillow is now making masks. Our friends at Nine Line Apparel are making masks. Elon Musk has opened up his factories to at least one facility to make ventilators. Various places.
I saw a video on YouTube how to make a mask out of paper towel and rubber bands and a stapler. I was like, I could make one.
Not quite the same filter.
It's not N95, but it would,
people
might stop you from spreading it if you sneezed into it.
That's the only thing. It's just going to knock down the stuff. I love this story. I really love this story. Our compassionate friend, Vladimir Putin. He's a man of the people. He really is. He cares about his folks. He demands allegiance and loyalty, fealty, and adoration. He demands it. He'll cut your wiener off if you don't give it to him.
Didn't he just change the laws so he could be in office for another 12 years?
Oh, yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's there forever.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin, he's there forever. But he went out and he visited some patients. He visited some folks that have the coronavirus. He's suited up in hazmat gear, bright yellow hazmat gear. He put on a full head-to-toe hazmat suit and a breathing mask to protect himself from the bug. Which, he's got to protect himself. If he's going to go out, of course, that's what he's got to do.
Yeah, but that was the whole visual optics for his people kind of move.
He went out.
It's kind of stupid.
I would just think don't go out.
Yeah.
Don't go visit him.
You could Skype them.
Did you see the look on everybody's face in the press junket the other day whenever the person talked about having a mild fever and they were in there asking the president questions?
I liked it. The best part when that lady said something and President Trump turned and got away from her.
But it was funny to me because, you could hear the cameras just go click, 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 click. As soon as that person said that, and Trump gave him the biggest, are you out of your freaking mind look?
Now, all the advances we have today around the world, and we still have cameras that go click, 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 click.
Well, yeah.
You can turn that noise off your camera.
Well, maybe. You know what makes that click sound?
The shutter opening and closing.
Yeah.
But that's false because you don't need
shutters anymore?
You don't need a shutter for digital cameras.
I don't know. What do you think about this, Senator Richard Burr? I've kind of come out against him. He dumped his stocks.
Him and Feinstein and a few others that apparently had some insider points of views on some things.
Yeah. What they did, they knew about it. They dumped their stock, $1.7 million in stocks before the pandemic caused the global markets. I think they had Wyndham Hotels. And they knew that was going to take a big old hit. And I don't think that what they did was illegal. If they shared that information, then yes. If you had information that your stock was going to go just tank, you would sell off.
Yeah.
Anybody in their right mind would. You're not just going to sit there and lose, close to $2 million.
But don't you think that's how these politicians go to Washington D.C. and get rich because they'd have some
of course,
get
100%
inside knowledge from this and
no
that.
question about it.
Keep letting them do it.
Yeah, there's no question about it. There's no way otherwise you can go in with $175,000 a year annual salary and come out worth $100 million.
Yeah,
$40 million, whatever they're coming out worth. It's just that's nonsense. Of course, it's that way. So, yeah, man, I hear that government work is lucrative these days. A little insider trading. Martha Stewart did it. Look, she came out on top. Yeah. What's a little bit of house arrest for fame and fortune? Come on. She
got to hang out with Snoop Dogg too.
Yeah, they're still hanging out. They're buds. and she'll teach you how to fold a fitted sheet. I've looked at that, and I've tried her method over and over again. Just can't do it.
You know how I fold
So
fitted
I don't.
sheets?
It wad them up.
Nope, I let Tony do it.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah, we just wad them up. That or we don't keep any extras. We just keep them on the bed.
Yep.
Or just keep them all on the bed and just snatch them off one at a time, and there's another one right there. It's just on there. I'm a thinker, folks. I'm giving you solutions. We have some pretty expensive sheets Jade bought recently, and she went to get in the bed last night and looked, and our little Rhodesian June she'd gotten on the bed. She loves to go in there and lay down. And she's just a lazy dog. And she has Brown Baby, which is her little stuffed animal that she takes everywhere with her. She likes to snuggle with Brown Baby. She's like a kid. But she left a hole in the sheets. Her little nail dug a little hole right there, and Jade was pissed. She was pissed. I would have shot that dog in the head a long time ago. I would have gone ahead and put it in the way of Don Lewis. That dog's cost me $35,000.
Tiger Lady to got you.
That's a rescue dog. That is a rescue dog. That $40 rescue has cost me $35,000 over the last 10 years. 8 years, 5 years, 6 years. 6 years. 6 years. I'm serious. New fences, new floors, new windows, the neighbor's windows.
Yeah.
The neighbor's windows. She jumped over the fence one day. She's a little dog. 6-foot fence. She jumped over that thing. The neighbors had their window open. There was just a screen there. She went through the screen, jumped on their bed. They came home and found her sleeping on their bed. Probably a hole in those fitted sheets, too. What's a little house arrest, people?
Nothing.
What's a little house arrest? You can open up the windows right now during quarantine. I mean, basically, we're under house arrest now. Just open up the windows, hang your bare ass out, and sun those legs.
Minus the ankle monitors.
I mean, you can't leave the property. And don't you leave either. We'll be right back. I guarantee you that this COVID-19 virus started in Carol's meat grinder. Nancy Pelosi's a trip, man. She's nuts. They're all nuts. They're all nuts at this stage in the game. Everybody in Washington, D.C. is crazy. All of them. Trump's crazy. Mitch is crazy. Lindsey's crazy. Kind of like Lindsey, though. I kind of like how Lindsey just pops into the microphone like, hey, what do you want me to say today? I mean, I just love how he just kind of pops right in like a puppet. Nancy's crazy. Chuck Schumer's crazy. Adam Schiff, Jerry Nadler, they're all nuts, man. But Nancy, they wanted that COVID-19 stimulus bill. She wanted all this crazy stuff in the thing. She came out yesterday and said that that's not true. Everything in the bill was all about COVID-19. That's a lie. Candace, that's a lie. Let me explain to you. Let me tell you what was in the bill. Here's what she wanted. They wanted a bailout for the U.S. Postal Service. They wanted student loan debt forgiveness. They required same-day voter registration, airline emission standard regulations, a study on climate change migration, collective bargaining provisions, increased federal minimum wage for companies that accept government loans, publications of race and pay statistics for corporate boards. That's ridiculous. So she's lying when she says, well, nothing was in it. She said nothing was in it. Everything we are suggesting just relates to COVID-19. It's not about making policy for the future. It's not changing policy except as it applies here. Bitch, you lying. Bitch, you know you lying. She came out as well in a TV interview. They asked her about the president's tweets. What do you think about the president's tweets? She said, I don't have time to follow people's tweets, Twitters, whatever tweets. That's what she said. So don't expect me to comment on them. Well, even beyond Twitter, the president of the United States is saying that he could open it up. I don't care. And they said, well, what is your opinion on that? My opinion is that it's not scientific. His notion mongering, as he does almost every day. So rather than waste any time on commenting on the president, I'd rather spend my time focusing on the fact the president or anybody with responsibility should be scientifically inclined. Evidence-based data, what is going to make the difference? I think the cure is the biggest message of hope that's out there. We have the best. Oh, my God. She says we have the best minds in the country, 24/7, all hands on deck, trying to find a path here, and that is what will be the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay.
If the president got up there, hey, the scientists are trying to find it, but they're probably not going to because this is a big, complicated deal, that would give a negative deal. So him getting up there, hey, I hope we have this thing wrapped up by Easter, that kind of thing. A message of hope, right?
Yeah.
I mean, versus being negative about it.
And I know what the pinheads out there are going to say. Well, he's trying to bail out all these corporations and all this stuff. And I've come out on this already. If people always assume they know what I believe. If you just listen, I'm pretty clear about it. No, I am not for these golden umbrellas for CEOs and executives where they're going to pad their pockets and have all of these safety measures for them. I'm not for stock buybacks. I don't believe in any of that kind of stuff. But for helping corporations that are going to employ hundreds of thousands of people, yeah, I am for that. Everybody wants to say, oh, the cruise ships. Stop jumping on any one topic. Everybody on both sides, stop just jumping on any one topic and saying, oh, but you want to, how can you you have a pea-grabbing president, you defend him. Oh, how can you say that? Oh, get over it. Just get over it. I just don't understand this absolute hate, because you're right, Steve. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. It doesn't matter what he does. He could come out there and offer some notion of hope. How dare you give false hope to the people of America? He could come out there and be completely bleak. How dare you suggest that we don't have the greatest minds in the world working on this? There's no win for him.
Either you like him, you love him, or you're indifferent.
But imagine going to sleep every night knowing that you get to wake up to that shit every single day. It would be very nerve-wracking.
I think he's handled it better than any of the previous presidents.
I think he can handle it. I think he has.
Yeah.
But imagine, you couldn't sleep at night.
No.
Just knowing what you got to get up and deal with tomorrow. You never get a chance to go to bed with a problem solved. Like right now, he doesn't get to do that. Nobody does.
No, but I think he does he does have that positive hope, and he goes to bed. I think he does go to bed and go, you know what? Hey, I'm going to put this to bed right now, and I'll wake up and deal with it tomorrow.
Well, the thing is, and what people fail to understand is we voted for a businessman who was saying things that we needed to hear about Washington, D.C. We didn't vote for a politician. We hired the guy to do the job. He's doing the job. Let him do the job. That's what I'm sick of, man. And then if you want a reminder, go get our single, He's Still Your President, and sing it to yourself over and over and over again as an anthem. He's still your president in spite of what you claim.
Hey, I sing on that.
USA,
I haven't got any royalties yet. Do I get
no, you don't.
10th of a cent or something?
No, you
Drachma?
didn't. You don't get any royalties.
Oh.
I don't get any royalties. I mean, I might make 0.00009 cents per download. Yeah. But anyway, I saw the numbers on the song yesterday. It's streaming pretty well. It's downloading pretty well. Need people to go get it. $1.29. And then whenever Quarantine Life comes out,
they can order it too online.
Yeah, you can go and watchchad.com and get it. You get that little single right there. I'll even sign it. I will sign it. I don't know why you'd want that, but I will sign it and send it to you.
And if it doesn't look quite like Chad's signature, I was forging it.
There you go. No, I will sign it. I swear I will sign it. I'll be the one who does it. I'll sign the cover and the CD. I will also, I'll tell you what, if you buy 2 T-shirts, I'll send you one for free. We'll just throw it in there. How about that, Steve? Boom.
All right.
And it's good stuff. Good stuff, man. It's just capitalism. Moving, shaking, living, breathing. We can't go out and do live shows right now. We're still going to do them. They're rescheduled for June. We're happy to be here. We miss our friends that are out on the road.
I may start delivering pizzas by the end of the week.
Yeah, man. And listen, Domino's is hiring.
Yeah.
CVS is hiring. Walmart's hiring. All these companies out there, they're still hiring. There's places. So God bless you, Steve. I hope you make it.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting to get paid from a couple of gigs we've done
Oh, yeah.
over the last 6 months. Y'all think this life is easy?
I know. They just say,
Yeah, I'm just sitting here, looking at, like I said in the opening, I'm just sitting here on the couch with my wife watching the bank account dwindle, paying bills like everybody.
yeah.
There it is. I might have to start selling off some stuff, some munitions and some arms to third world countries or something. I got some rifles. It ain't coming cheap, though, Somalia. I tell you that. If anybody wants a Corvette, I'll sell you a Corvette. I got a beautiful white Corvette if anybody wants that right now. It would look good if you put a tiger in it. And Candace has the website. I may buy a tiger.
I think Somalians want white Toyota trucks.
You think so?
I think that's their vehicle of choice.
Yeah, they do, with a machine gun in the back.
50 cal mount on the back.
50 caliber back there. Yeah. And you need to follow 100 Deadly Skills, Clint Emerson, at 100 Deadly Skills on social media. He'll keep you alive. I got my whole house is tactical at this point.
I did your tactical move with my AR on the side of the bed.
Yeah. My whole house is tactical at this point. I mean, it's not Glenn Beck's house. I don't have a cabana full of armed guards at every point. Kevin Costner's not teaching my limo driver how to drive. You know what I'm saying? The bodyguard. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't have personal bodyguards. I don't have Scottish or English special forces members who are out there to take care of me, Steve. I don't have Mossad watching out.
You got me. I got your back.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Man, I sleep better at night knowing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all up to us, folks. We got to take care of our own. I'm just here for y'all. That's how I brave the microbes just to come into Studio 22 so I can give you all the stuff that you need and entertain you every day. Hang tight. We'll do some more of it. The memes have been fantastic. I mean, just all the stuff that's come out of these days where people sitting around, and I still contend that the media's killing us. I mean, the media's doing worse job than anything a virus can do. One of my favorites, I just came across it on Instagram. I haven't seen it in a couple of days. It's got a dog. It says, when you leave the TV on for your dog on a news channel and come home after 8 hours, and now the dog's in the Tyvek suit and the face mask and the whole thing. I'm telling you, man, the news will kill you. They're scary. I just implore the folks in Washington D.C. to do the right things. Do the right things, man. The American people have entrusted you with the role of being a servant to the Constitution and to the American people, and represent them faithfully and effectively. Please do that. Don't hunger for power to the point where you're making us all live with a two-edged sword, and we can't go any one direction without finding harm and hate. So I'm imploring the people in Washington, D.C., do the right thing. Stay in contact with your representatives, y'all. We're here for you at the Chad Prather Show. We'll love you all the ways. God bless. Talk to you next time. Bye.